you see my screen? Okay. Hello to the TOC meeting on 9th of April. Today we have our usual agenda without any updates from working groups. So let's jump to the agenda to review the action items from last week. Yeah, we had one action item. I actually commented on the issue. And I created a PR to have more information when we create the inactive user PR. So we had also a lot of discussion in that PR, but I think we'll look into this when we review our PRs. There was nothing else, so we can then go to our dashboard. So we have in progress the inactive user to be deleted. So there was a little bit confusion here because Joe wasn't aware that he doesn't have any more the rights to contribute or approve PRs for the Go UA repository. So we discussed a lot. Yeah, but at the end, so there is a proposal how to proceed here. There is not yet a response from Joe. And maybe from the feedback, from the feedback, this for us may be relevant so that we look more into such PRs when we move something from another organization to CloudFoundry, that the active approvers are somehow that they know about this move, so to say.
Yeah, I think like with the CloudFoundry community org, it's always a bit difficult to figure out who is the active maintainer, because everybody is admin or was in the past. But at least we could have looked at like who committed or contributed in the past year, right? And I believe that was not properly done. So maybe we can, make an amendment somewhere to some policy to capture that, so that for repos that we move over, that we want to at least get approval of all the people that contributed in the past to such a repo. I don't know if that makes sense, but that would have prevented this incident at least.
All people maybe will be difficult, but maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a case-by-case basis thing.
Yeah.
Really depends on the project.
Yeah. I don't think that we have a clear RFC which clarifies the move. We have one which talks about moving repositories between working groups in our CloudFoundry organization. Yeah, so I don't know where to.
I mean, this would be something, a policy about like accepting new intellectual property.
Yes.
Right? It's basically a donation of intellectual property.
And we can ask the person who creates the PR to ensure that he has the approval of the active maintainers or active people in the repository. Could be also something maybe the one who creates the PR knows best who is active, or I don't know. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but I mean, like that. That was apparently not the case.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, and I think it's especially maybe relevant to the Prometheus work that's the donation that's currently going on. Like maybe
Yeah.
we should like at least double check, do a spot check that the people that are contribute or making the donation are actually like that there's no people being missed there. But I also don't know, like I don't have permissions. I think I cannot see who has roles in that repo, right?
Most probably not, but we can say let's check with the people who contributed in the last year to the repository or the last 2 years. This will be somehow easy to get that information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Via the Insights tab, you can filter for contributions. So for the Prometheus Bosch release, there's clearly 2 people that have made many more commits over the past 2 years than the rest.
Yeah. Are they in the list mentioned? So
it's Benjamin from Any9s, and then
yeah.
Xavier from I don't know, France. I think it's probably orange, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe they were mentioned here in the initial discussion here.
Oh yeah. Oh, and even Ferran Rodenas has been mentioned, who has not been active on that for a while. So.
Didn't hear anything back from at least the people mentioned here, so should be fine. Okay. It sounds like we should maybe add a policy how we accept contributions, discuss this and have clear policy. Is this then an RFC? Most probably yes. A checklist.
Yeah. Maybe we can discuss this next week when there's more people here.
Yeah.
I don't know, Stephan, do you have any opinion?
Yeah. I find it difficult. I read over this, and I guess the discussion is already too late to calm it down. If you don't know which are the contributors or the main active persons, then the only option we had is to not, let's say, force transfer it ourselves, and instead simply say there is no Go UAA library and ask if they want to contribute, and if not, then the next consequence would be that every CloudFoundry project removes any dependency. I mean, we cannot simply clone or fork because of intellectual property. It's a difficult thing. I honestly, I don't know if I could write down such a policy thing. Maybe Chris can, or somebody with more lawyer background. For me, it would be difficult, honestly, and we could try to solve the problem. I mean, on a technical level, we could create a temporary admin group for Joe if it makes him feel better. I don't know if that's the point, so that he can work on the repository as he wishes. I assume that he also doesn't have bad intentions on the Go UAA lib and just doesn't want to live in the constraints that any regular CloudFoundry repository lives.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there is also something to say for like the fact that we have moved it, as in like from a supply chain security point of view, right? It makes sense that we try to at least have all the dependencies that are important to the ecosystem in a centrally managed organization.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's like, and you want to enforce like least privileges. Like you want to enforce that, right?
Yeah, but we have
more...
many other cases where
we have the
granted,
exceptions.
We have.
I'm like, that's actually, we are trying to get into a better shape by reducing the number of people in the org so that we can have more fine-grained permissions. So
yeah, definitely it should be
Yeah, to solve it, we need somebody who knows Joe better so that they can talk on a different level. So I don't think that discussions on this PR will help in any way anymore. No. This is already broken.
Yeah.
So can I ask a question? Is the point of trying to essentially manage these so that they're managed by a particular working group? And is this just a matter of getting Joe wired in with that working group and perhaps being a member of it in order to conform to the going forward?
That's the current proposal.
Okay.
I mean, that's all, and he would be an approver in that working group, and I think that's fine. It's just I think the comments are mostly about the way that this happened, as in like he was not notified of this. I mean, there is some history with the CloudFoundry community organization where everybody was an admin. It's just an idea from a different era, I guess, right? And it has proven to be problematic by like the incident. So,
was this one of those that was from the CloudFoundry community, or was this always CloudFoundry?
No, this was a repo in CloudFoundry community, and it was moved over to CloudFoundry. Because I think back then the idea was that it was not being maintained, and the UAA folks wanted to have it under active maintenance again. But apparently Joe felt that there was active maintenance going on. So I think that was basically the root cause of the problem. Was a difference
sure,
of opinions.
I think we can wait for the response of Joe, but also there was discussion in general how we do the moves in the future.
I think this case is also a bit special because of the CloudFoundry community org, right? And all the situation that we had there in the past. And we did already do a review of the repos that might want to move over. So if we just do our due diligence on those, we might be fine. I don't know if there's many other things that are being moved that will move in the future.
Maybe we should ask the working groups or the areas to, let's say, review the dependencies that we find in the CloudFoundry repositories, because these are actually time bombs.
Yeah.
So if there are more of these interesting.
There potentially are things that are in more of the pivotal experiments and those types of like adjacent organizations. I don't know if there are things in those, but I mean sometimes CI bits or like some CI tasks lives in such a repo. It's probably gonna be a hard thing to audit.
It's yeah, there's no no way to do it in an automatic way, right?
No.
I mean, in Kapi we just have to relocate the whole CI because it broke, and you find a lot of interesting things when you do that.
Yeah, I think what made this case special is that like usually you have companies who have affiliation with a repo more, right? Like it's more like this is a repo that was started by a certain member company, and then just people are moved on and off of that project. In this case, it was an individual who started the thing. It's different.
Yeah. We discussed some action items. I'm not sure. So regarding the current discussion, I think we
we should revisit next week, right? Because we don't know, like this is not resolved yet, as in still waiting for a reaction, and also we're missing 2 TOC members, and that would be good to have their opinions about this topic as well.
Yeah, and I would, for general policy, I would go after we have resolved this one, so that we have at least a little bit of learning. And
okay, yeah. Have here an action item then for next week to look again into this. So where is our board now? Moving the Bosch Prometheus repositories.
Well, here it would probably be good to get approvals of those people that were mentioned in the initial issue.
Yeah, I can just take people here.
sums, not dumps. Okay, too late.
Yeah. I'm not.
THUMPS.
Yeah, so yeah. Okay. Then I think we can put this in progress and wait until we have approvals. And so I try to put more details about what inactive users can do. I don't know. yeah, this is my proposal.
There a link to the process for adding yourself as a contributor? Would that make sense? We have an RFC for that, right? Not or something in the roles document.
We have an RFC for that.
I don't know if it's an RFC.
I don't know. There is. I don't think there is one role change process. What is that? This one looks up. This one looks good, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I can put this as. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can put that one. Link to have it more. To add more details here. I can link also on PR mail, but it's I don't know whether it makes it more clear if we link here how the PR should look like. You have just to add yourself a PR which add you back actually. But yeah, I can add the link here for the.
I think it's good to at least refer the policy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I will do. It's a good point. Okay. Now regarding RFCs, so Chris is not here. I don't know whether there are any more details here. Ren, do you know something about this CV numbering authority? Ren is maybe not available at the moment. Okay, I think we can leave this in the current state. So we had some discussions, ongoing discussions here about the generic per route features. So all of the discussions are resolved. Only one discussion is still open. And this is about, yeah, it's a long one, how to deal with updates. Yeah, this is a little bit let's say, not so well, how to say, I don't know. But it's not what the people expect usually. So the manifest is not the source of truth. It's not so declarative as people wish to be. For example, if you have defined a service in your manifest and then remove it from the manifest, the CF push will not delete the binding which is there. Or if you have environment variables defined in the manifest and afterwards remove them, they will stay. So, and now the question is with for this feature, how to proceed here. But most probably we want to be consistent with what is defined in the APIs, as Stephan mentioned here.
Yeah, there's one remaining question whether those route attributes are actually considered as part of the route or as own properties. So will there be a merging on the level only of routes? So new routes are added, existing routes are not touched. But if you specify a new route, will it then override all values with all the properties? Now this HTTP protocol, for instance, is actually not part of the route. It's part of a destination, which is an own type of entity. So it gets horribly complex, and no matter what we decide, it will be awkward for that's, and you won't change it anymore. This behavior is also good. For instance, with service bindings, you actually don't want to have the declarative manifest right now, because there are lots of use cases where you specify certain services explicitly not in the manifest, logging, monitoring, etc., because that should not be part of your productive deployment in all the cases the same way, and you don't want to fail your deployment if such a binding is not there. But the deployment will fail if it's specified in the manifest. So there are use cases, and people rely on it, and we cannot change it, of course, anymore. There are discussions about a real declarative manifest. I think Greg brought it up from time to time, but there's no RFC, no active development, nothing really happened besides the idea. It would be nice to have a V3 version of the manifest, which is really declarative, like you expected, mostly in certain environments with K in the beginning, which is also not always true, but okay. This is difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I need to ask here, or we have to extend the test cases to find out how actually the protocol behaves, and then we can maybe give an idea. But for the RFC, we could also say it's good enough now, and we clarify those questions during the implementation. Could also be good enough, and give just a hint to be consistent with the existing manifest handling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will raise at the next CAPI open office hours actually tomorrow. So, but we have, as I mentioned, the CAPI pipelines. I don't know how much discussion or how much time we have left after the discussion of the release pipelines on those topics. So no promises yet.
Question is, should we start the final comment period or wait another week? We can maybe start, and if you have certain concerns which are raised during the CAPI
Yeah,
open hour.
we can start it, and we could here say that we will solve it finally in the implementation phase, and we try to keep it consistent with the existing behavior of the manifest. That's maybe the best we can write right now.
Yeah,
I guess it's good enough for the RFC. I mean, the RFC is about this new functionality and not about solving now details in manifest merging logic.
Yeah, okay, I will add the comment here and then put the comment about starting the final comment period. Okay. So we have also discussions going on the RFC about introducing the cloud native build packs lifecycle. Yeah, I think still in progress in the discussions.
Yeah, I think here there will also be some more input. I had a short discussion with Jan today, and he has also some additional ideas. So this one is, I guess, not yet ready.
Yeah. I also think it's still active. And there is a new one regarding an additional option to provide binding information to applications. Yeah, we touched a little bit on this last week, and I decided to push a little bit so that we have the RFC because we see from time to time issues with the size limit which environment variables have. And the proposal here is to introduce an alternative way to provide service binding to application, which is based on functionality which already exists in Diego to provide the client the instance identity credentials, basically based on temp.fs files. And yeah, we have here different options to make it to stay compatible with the current format which VCAP services has, or go more into directions Kubernetes and adopt their format service binding specification. And yeah, some details about how this can be implemented also in the RFC and the working groups which are impacted. I saw already comments from Ruben and Stephan also about the RFC. There are also other people commenting already. Do we have any questions or anything to add here?
I'm interested in the I don't know. I have that. I started that thread. There's some interesting responses here, but what I found, like type, I believe is it's not a list, right? It's a single thing. So if you have multiple labels or multiple tags, which one do you pick?
Mm.
And then the behavior, if a service does provide a type key, top level type key, like will that be used, or will, like, I don't know, those things really need to be clarified.
Yeah, then please.
Yeah, I will comment.
At your concerns, yeah, this is a good point. Yeah, so I can put this in progress also. Okay, then on the RFC side, we are also done, and we don't have any new issues. So then we can go to any other business. So I saw that there is a proposal in the Korifi working group to add managed services to Korifi. To open the link. Okay, so here is the link to the document they have to introduce this feature to Korifi. If you have any feedback, you can just comment. So this is only for your information. Is there anything else you want to talk?
Is there a particular reason why this is done through a document and not an RFC?
I asked the SAP colleagues who created actually this. They said that this is only in their working group, and they have a process for.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's why. But for more visibility, we can also go for an RFC. They decided to not go.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else? If not, then we are done. Have a nice lunch, morning, afternoon, evening, and see you next time. Then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Good discussion, everyone. Bye.